Each year, hundreds of visitors come to St. George's United Methodist Church in Philadelphia and become part of a living history lesson.
Have any of you ever sailed to England yourself?
An itinerant minister from the 1700s stops in to preach.
Good morning to you all then.
And a ruckus in the balcony brings a dark event from the church's history to light.
The board met last night and they decided, move now.
In 1787, African-American members of the church were pulled from their knees during prayer and told to move.
A little more than 200 years ago, Miss Yellen, in this very church from which the walls, floors were crafted with our own hands, we were humiliated.
Visitors who witness the scene are then invited to talk about it in a discussion group with the reenactor portraying Richard Allen, who is a devout Methodist and one-time preacher at St. George's.
We were forcibly removed during what? Does anybody remember? Prayer. Not after the prayer, not after service, no meeting at the door, perhaps upon leaving, don't come back and sit at the gallery next time, but during prayer.
The usher might have said, Richard, after church we need to talk.
Absolutely.
Did that happen? Not as we understand it.
No.
St. George's hosts this reenactment a few times a year for individuals and groups like confirmation classes. United Methodists come to learn about the founders of Methodism in America. Purchased in 1769, St. George's is the oldest Methodist church in the U.S. in continuous use.
The builders of the building, who were Dutch Reformed Presbyterians, wanted the Bishop of London to send them a priest. And they thought that if they named the church building after the patron saint of England, the Bishop of London would send them a priest. That didn't happen. Then the Methodists came and they just kept the name.
At St. George's, confirmands can stand within the walls where Francis Asbury preached, view artifacts including John Wesley's handwritten hymnal, and think for themselves about how they will shape the United Methodist Church.
You might as well put this padlock on your door, because unless you change and unless you make your place welcoming and inclusive of young people, this padlock is going to be on your door.
I think it's very important for the kids that come here to realize that being a member of a church isn't buying into just a lot of set opinions. It's entering into a real search for God's voice in the world and to understand that looking back, we don't always go in the right direction, but it's important to keep asking the questions and to keep looking for the right way and to look at those stories and look at the histories and see what we can learn from them, not to turn a deaf ear to them.
This video was brought to you by the people of the United Methodist Church through World Service donations.